Well. If you watched my last video, you would see that I was actually reporting on the fact that Sandland's been getting a lot more advertisement lately. And now we're getting a video game. So, in case you didn't know, it was first rumored that it was going to be a video game back whenever Sandland was first being teased. People were like, oh, well, this is a video game, and then it turned out to be a CGI movie. Some people also was thinking that it was the web series that Toei was making. It was a big... it was a bunch of misinformation at the time, but nobody knew it was misinformation. People were confused, you know. So I wanted to make this video to go ahead and talk about the fact that this movie isn't being distributed by Toei. Now, if you've been keeping up with the movie, you know it has been, but I feel like there's still some people that think that. And I also want to talk about the fact that the video game looks pretty fun. And also discuss the difference between Sandland and Dragon Ball in terms of how much content we're getting. I mean, let's go look at Sandland, and we can see that the movie's being distributed by these guys called Toho. And those are a pretty big Japanese distributor for the anime industry, honestly. I mean, they've got anime adaptations, they got anime film like Bleach, they've got some live-action adaptation of Attack on Titan, they've even got the Detective Conan film, so they are pretty stacked. And you can go look at their credits. If you keep up with anime, you know that they've got a lot of credits. They've also put out some hits lately as well. Like that one movie, what was it called? Your Name. Yeah, that's what it was called, Your Name. So yeah, they've got, you know, they're nobody to scoff at. I don't know if they're Toei level, but they're definitely one of the bigger ones. And so obviously Sandland is not being distributed by Toei. Toei has nothing to do with this film. And that's got people thinking, wait, you mean we can just get a Sandland movie and a Sandland game and it seems like they're really pumping out Sandland. I mean, I know it's only 2 products, but think about it. I mean, a movie and a game at the same time out of nowhere. Whereas for Dragon Ball, what? We're getting Dragon Ball The Breakers. I mean, I know we just got Budokai Tenkaichi 4 announced, but that won't be coming out for a while. And the real problem is the game. I mean, the anime. We've got no anime. Where's the Dragon Ball anime at? And, you know, you can complain about it, but that won't really, you know, make it come any faster, obviously. I mean, people have been complaining about it for years, and Toei seems dead set on not bringing the anime back. And so it introduces an interesting conundrum for Dragon Ball fans, and that is, why is this happening? Well, let's be real, it's because Toei doesn't own Sandland. And so these people are like, oh, well, we got the big Dragon Ball creator Akira Toriyama. If you watch the video game announcement trailer for Sandland, it literally says in the beginning, from Dragon Ball creator Akira Toriyama. He didn't make the game, he made the world, he made Sandland. But they didn't say based off, they just said from Dragon Ball creator Akira Toriyama. Would you know, it's Sandland. But that's the same thing as whenever they announced, what was it, Elden Ring, and they said it was from like George R.R. Martin, right? Like he was working on it or something. Anyway, the point is, it's all name recognition, and the game looks good. The game looks good. People are excited for the game. My question is, why does the game somehow look better than the movie? Now, I know, I don't want to be too much of a Deputy Honor, but the game, you know what, it is kind of shooting for a kind of different aesthetic. The game is being built for video games. The movie doesn't look as expensive or polished as Dragon Ball Super Superhero. And the game also, I feel like, looks a bit more detailed than the movie does. But, you know, that was the first look at the movie. Maybe it'll look better whenever we get a better look at it. Anyways, moving on to the next story, and this will be the last thing I discuss because, like I said, I had made a video a few days ago already discussing what I thought was going to be the last video for this week. You know, just my weekly news video. And then they announced the Sandland game. And I thought, well, I can't just make a video just talking about the Sandland game. There has to be something else in there. And wouldn't you know it, Super Dragon Ball Heroes released a new episode. Now, I normally don't talk about Super Dragon Ball Heroes on the channel, mainly because it's non-canon. It's not, you know, it's fan fiction, and everybody knows it's fan fiction, and people still watch it. And that's fine if you watch it. I'm not trying to say that you're some sort of bad person for watching it or anything. I'm just saying it's not necessarily up my alley. But they had a nice fan service moment with apparently Super Saiyan 4 Bardock Ultra Instinct Goku, and Super Saiyan 2 Future Gohan. Now, I did watch like 1 or 2 episodes from this latest batch of episodes of the new series or whatever, where we actually see Future Gohan in his timeline survived and his future Trunks died and stuff like that. So I guess that's that Gohan. And then of course the thing with Zeno Bardock being I think it's Timebreaker Bardock. I don't know. It's been a while since I played Xenoverse 2. So some of my Bardock information is coming from Dragon Ball Online. But yeah, that's cool. And the final bit of news that I want to talk about today isn't really news, so you can click off the video now if you want. It's more of like a channel update. And that is, as you know, the Dragon Ball Super manga has been recapping the movie. And I wasn't really sure how I was going to cover it on the channel. I know a lot of other people aren't even covering the chapters like they used to. They used to just post the recaps. That's what I was doing. I was just posting the recaps of the chapters, and I never really gave my review on the chapters just because I really like looking at them as a whole, like as a whole arc, and then reviewing the arc as a whole. Because it's hard to review one chapter of a manga and then just feel satisfied with that one chapter and say this was a good chapter, this was a bad chapter, because every chapter has to work together to tell a whole story. I mean, you wouldn't read a book like a Game of Thrones and then say, yeah, the first chapter was good, the second chapter is decent. You have to look at the whole thing. You have to look at every chapter together and then be like, okay, this chapter is good, this chapter is bad. And that together told a bigger story that I enjoyed. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I was staying away from reviewing the chapters. But I figured out a way I could cover the chapters and still have fun with it, and that is comparing it to the movie. So if you've seen my last Dragon Ball Super chapter comparison, comparing it to the movie, that was chapter 93 versus the superhero movie. And that got 2.2 thousand views. And I was like, holy crap, how did I get 2.2 thousand views? So I'm not saying like the next video is guaranteed to get the big numbers like that. It might even get like 30 views or 20 views, and that's fine. But that's something that at least during this superhero recap arc, that's what I'm going to be doing. So keep an eye out for that. Anyways, guys, this has been another installment of the Dragon Discourse series. I've been kind of weeding out the Dragon Discourse name from the title because I'm thinking about making it into a podcast. Maybe not. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a good one. Peace off.